Ugandan power distributor Umeme had a fairly good run on the Nairobi Stock Exchange last week, gaining by over 40% in stock price. Now, this is because of growing interest by investors that are keen on picking the Umeme stock at this point in time. We'll be delving into that story in our subsequent shows. I'm Charles Bod, your host. Welcome to the show. A country that has less to sell to its neighbors always faces quite a number of challenges, from of course the unfavorable balance of payment position to even the strength or the lack of it for its currency. Now, there are many ills that come out of this, and that's why today effort is being invested in helping many Ugandans, as many as possible, to participate in export trade. Let's find out what you need to do to participate in this space.
In Uganda, we have very many businesses, and as UEPB, we are actually striving to drive them to get into the export market. And that's why we engage in several activities, including the export launchpad training. The opportunities that the exporters in Uganda have is so huge. If you look at the total world exports, it is coming to over 24 trillion US dollars. And that's a huge sum of money. But when you look at what we are doing for the financial year 2021-22, we made over 3.8 billion US dollars. And for the just ended financial year 22-23, we anticipate to exceed $4 billion. Now, if you look at $4 billion vis-a-vis the 24 trillion US dollars, that shows you massive opportunity, huge. But just other than looking at the numbers, if you look at the markets where these volumes come from, for Uganda, we are in the East African community. We are in COMESA, that is the common market for the Eastern and Southern Africa. We are in the African Continental Free Trade Area. So those are all opportunities. But in total, the total export market for the world is over 24 trillion US dollars, while for Uganda we are hitting this just ended financial year, we shall hit slightly above 4 billion US dollars. First and foremost, to participate in the export market is very simple. We first of all, as a company that has interest or is in the business of exports, number one, you need to be a registered company. You must have a TIN number. You must have an account. You must have registered your products. You have patents and the rest. But in addition to that, you also have to ensure that your products meet the standard, because it is only standard in the whole world that is not negotiable. We can go and negotiate tariffs, we can negotiate, have bilateral engagements and negotiate several other things. We can't negotiate standards. Now, the low-hanging fruits for Ugandan exporters, first and foremost, is the East African community market. Then there is the COMESA and the African Continental Free Trade Area. And these are areas where we now look at the fruits and vegetables, our manufactured products within the region, which gives us a quick win. That means you can export to Sudan, to South Sudan, you can export to the Democratic Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, to Burundi, to Kenya. So those are, to me, those are the low-hanging fruits. And also you note that in terms of the world population, we are coming to over 8 billion people, but that is also a huge opportunity in that these people have to consume on a daily basis. So how prepared we are is very important for us to get into this market. The new financial year, which has just started, because this is July, which is the beginning of the financial year, you look at the government budget, you look at the government programs and activities. The parish development model is there, yoga is there. These are all programs that are there to ramp up production. But ramping up production will require that the company or individual needs to be prepared. You need to be brought up to speed. The essence is that for you to participate in this sector, you must ensure you meet the standards. You must be compliant. But as you are also compliant, you also have to ensure that you have sustainability. Can you actually supply what you have promised to supply? Because the export market is not a village market where, you know, I only take what I have. When you get into the export market, these are long-term relationships. And in a long-term relationships, you need to actually prepare yourself a lot. And as an Export Promotion Board, we are actually here to ensure we prepare you. That's why you see we do export readiness assessment to assess how ready people are, identify the gaps that they have or the challenges they have. Then we address those so that by the time they get to the market, they are fit to go. But that is also important, and why we emphasize the assessment is that when you cross the Ugandan border to export, first of all, you operate as an individual company within the country. But the moment you cross over, it is not the individual company, it is now Uganda. So what you do the other side has a very big impact on all of us in the country. In terms of challenges that we have, first and foremost, there is a lack of information. People don't know what to do where. And that's where now, say for this particular challenge, we shall train, we shall work with development partners like TFO Canada to ensure our people know what is expected of them. Now, the other thing that has been happening is we have also been exporting, more especially when you come to the agriculture sector, we export commodities. But government has taken a stand that we actually need to do value addition. And it has actually set several infrastructure to support that. The roads, the training institutions, the energy infrastructure is being developed, peace and security is being worked on to ensure that actually people do value addition, because with the value addition, we get more. In the process of coordinating, developing, and promoting Uganda's exports, this is something that is done jointly with the other ministries, departments, and agencies, the private sector themselves, the development partners. Now, for this particular case, we have one of our development partners, that is the Trade Facilitation Office of Canada, in conjunction with the Islamic Trade Finance Corporation. We have teamed up with them, and we have a program which is coming to an end soon, where we are training, building capacity of the micro, small, and medium enterprises in Uganda. And this is the last lot where the total is coming to about 112 SMEs in this country. And we want to ensure that these people actually participate fully in export. With this activity, we are also going to identify amongst these people who have trained, and we shall take them to Anuga for purposes of linking them to the market. We shall take some also under this project to the African Continental, the African Trade Fair, the Intra-Africa Trade Fair, which was initially supposed to be in West Africa, but has been pushed to Egypt, Cairo. So with this, we shall assess and see how ready some of these trained SMEs are. And with this project, we shall be able to take them to this.
Now, still talking about exports, one of the low-hanging fruits for Uganda is in the area of agribusiness. However, there are still many challenges, especially those related to post-harvest handling. And today, we're paying a visit to some of the players that are trying to rewrite this picture to find out what is being done and what others can copy to make Ugandan products, agricultural products, competitive in the global market space. A major step towards bringing farmers into the money economy is through empowering them to preserve produce quality through good storage facilities. To agribusiness players, farmers, especially those at the grassroots, continue to struggle with quality issues that in turn affect the competitiveness of the country's agricultural products at the international market. The latest incident is when South Sudan barred Ugandan maize from accessing its market, citing quality issues.
The most important person in this equation is the farmer. But the farmer is challenged. You see, Uganda is naturally endowed. We have rain almost throughout the year. But the challenge is if a farmer does not have a clear facility, a clean facility, a good facility for preserving the food, drying it, processing it, grading it, it becomes a big challenge. Now, what we are doing as an intervention, not only Tonga, but even all other members of the Grain Council, we are on a deliberate mobilization of farmers and farmer groups, such that they utilize all the facilities, the grain facilities wherever they are. Because these are regional hubs, where you'll find that a facility has a weigh bridge, every facility has a dryer, every facility has capacity to test the grain, and every facility is in position to clean, grade, and then store. So as an effort, we're also trying to talk to our farmers, the producers, to make sure that, because if the quality of grain is lost at the farm, then here it is very difficult. It will have to take us through the toxic scrub. But now we can do something before we get to there. If they can quickly harvest and deliver their maize to a facility like Tonga, then quality will not be lost.
Now, government is intensifying efforts to support private storage facilities or warehouse operators and produce marketers, especially in the grain subsector, to bridge the existing gaps.
Government of Republic of Uganda is not into the grain trading business anymore. So we work with the private sector. We reach our farmers through the private sector. So in this area we have Tonga Investments Limited as our stakeholder. He has his established supply chains of farmers, small-scale traders who will be utilizing this facility. So he's a conduit through which government is going to reach the common farmer. We are working with many of this kind across the country. We are working with cooperative unions. We are working with farmers federation associations, and we are supporting them, standardizing some of these facilities they have established across the country. And the whole purpose is to serve the farmers and the producer community, small-scale traders through these kind of facilities.
This was during the visit to the grain warehousing facility operated by Tonga Investments in Mityana by the team from Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority. However, for this effort to see sustainable results, financial institutions have to get on board as partners.
So many farmers would want to be financed depending on someone, for example, has grown beans, has grown maize, but they want to get financing from the bank. Even when you don't know how the outcome is going to be, it becomes a little bit of challenge. But we really want to do financing of agricultural commodities, basically trade. Like someone who has maize, beans that are ready, he has come to him to supply. There we would gladly come in. The challenging bit is in production. We don't know what this field is going to produce at the end of the season. We don't know what quantity, we don't know how the quality is going to be, we don't know how the rains are going to come, things like that. That's how the risk aversion comes from. But we really want to partner with farmers entirely who are into trade.
Government is encouraging farmers to deposit their produce, mainly grain, into gazetted warehouses where they are guaranteed quality but also issued receipts, which they can use to look for the markets, but also as collateral in commercial banks.